That's what we're going to work on for the next 45 minutes. Okay? One minus. fun stuff as well. So, I want you to feet hip width apart. I just want you to balance. Okay, you'll have a busy day. Yes. Of course, wait, you're very lucky. It's my day off. I should be in my pajamas here. You. Good. Are you holding your breath? Breathe in through your nose. I want every bit of your body. Yeah. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then as the sound. You know, when you stand up singing concerts, your body just suddenly tightens, doesn't it? I know.
Do you hear at the back?
You can't hear me. I'm really sorry. Do you want to come a bit further forward, sir? Sorry? Do you want to come a bit further forward? There's a seat right at the front. No, we don't want to. Okay. Good, so our posture. As soon as we get up on stage and get nervous singing, everything tightens, okay? So it's really important to be aware of this. And as I continue to research this work, the actual connection to bodily kinesiology and the voice, neuro and voice connection is really important, okay? So we're going to stand, loose knees, and we're going to put our hands on our hips. I'm just going to stick our hips aside. I know, let's go that way first, okay? Everybody go that way, so we're going to go like that with our hips, and then to the other side. Are you holding your breath? So let's stand there. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out through your mouth. And when you breathe in through your nose, just going to relax your belly. So remember this? It's a few years ago now. It's 2 years. 2 years. That's not. We're not talking in that time. So relax your belly. Please just raise. Relax your belly and take care of it. Okay, so take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take your hips to the side. And then breathe at your own pace. Two to this side. So we're all going to go the same way, okay? So we're going to go 2, 2, 2, 2. And then we're going to tuck our pelvis under and then out. I know. We're talking about pelvis here. Come on, we're all doing it together. It's really important. Pelvis is a huge part. And then we're going to stir it across. And that gets me right in my ribs as we go. And then round the other way. Ooh. And if you keep breathing one person, we've all got to take something. I know I've been sat in the car for the last hour and a half. I'll get started. Good. We're going to take a deep breath in. And we open our arms down. And then we're just going to roll. Now, if you get dizzy, please stop. But just flow to the level that you're at. You want to be at. Okay? So hang there, breathing out. Then we're going to breathe back in and lift up. And breathe. And in. And breathe out. Or you want to say, Susie, come back, please. Just making us move. Our bodies are our instruments, okay? It's really, really important. Breathe in, roll your shoulders back. And breathe out. Good. Take a seat. Yes, I'm sure this is happening. Good. So just to remind you, I know Susie's on the same wavelength with me about breathing. We need to breathe really efficiently. As I say, we don't breathe efficiently in life. We really don't as we get older because we're born able to breathe, okay? And it's a subconscious activity. We all develop. The science now says that when you go to school at 5, that's when people are around their peers and they start breathing patterns. Until then, you watch a baby, their belly just goes really big and they go to sleep, and it's as if someone's punched them in the stomach, so that they can project their sound really far. And that's what we need to do, really, using all these muscles down here so that we don't create extra tension up here, which will affect the sound. So I want you to put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. This is to keep you calm, and you're just going to relax your belly. I know, we hold our tummies in all the time. Relax your belly out. And just that action of relaxing the belly out, and then pulling those tummy muscles in as if we laugh. Do that with me. Relax the tummy out. So those muscles that you feel down there, those lower abdominal muscles, there's muscles here if you put them under here. So relax the belly, breathe in through the nose if you can. And then under the ribs here. Again, relax the belly, breathe in. They're all connected, but if you just think about those lower abdominal muscles, pulling them into the spine that support the air as you breathe out. Okay? That's it in a nutshell. It's very difficult, but it's a lifetime of practice, really. Okay, so my advice to you, I was picking some exercises today, and this, I shouldn't say it's complicated, but it's not too complicated. But for me, it's always about the breath journey. Okay, so you're just starting to learn this now. So decide as you look at the music at home where you think you're going to breathe. I mean, you do it collectively with Susie, and as a choir, you can stagger the breath, so it sounds like you're all breathing in you're keeping one continuous sound. But you, as individuals, have to know where you want to breathe, because if you just breathe where you get to the end of the phrase, you won't breathe efficiently, okay? You'll take too much air in, and you won't support. So for me, when I start to look at the music, I think, right, I'm going to breathe there. Now that's a long phrase. I might not always be able to do that in one breath. So I might mark in the emergency breaths, okay? Because sometimes I might be able to do it in one breath, and other times I might have to snatch a breath. So you've got to work both of them in. And believe you me, audiences will forgive you if you breathe, and it's part of the phrase. But they'll know straight away if you're running out of breath, because the sound will be spinning, and they'll get tense, and everyone will know. Okay, they'll hear it in your sound. Okay, so when you're sat at home watching the telly, you can just release the pull, because that's the action. And when you need to breathe quickly, what do you do when you breathe quickly? 9 times out of 10, you'll go. Yeah, do that for me now. Feel that vertical tension. Now, blow the air out. This time, and it really takes thought, release your belly, pull it back in. Because by releasing your tummy, as I'm talking to you now, if I just release and pull back in, my body takes in enough air to keep speaking, okay? It's really hard to trust that. When I'm on stage, I've got this conversation in my head where I'm going, right, I've not got much time to breathe here now. Don't over breathe, because All of us singers attempting to go at the end of a long phrase. Release, pull. Just allow the air to come in. Okay. Let's try that together. Let's blow all the air out. If in doubt, breathe out. This whole book by Linda Hutchison, who used to teach up here in Scotland. 9 times out of 10, when we get breathless, which we all get breathless at times, whether it's related to lung issues or just, anxiety, we think we've got to take more air in, okay? And then you go, and then you snap the breath up. If in doubt, breathe out. So the next time you feel you can't get the breath, wherever you are now in your breath, I want you to blow the air out. Really empty those lungs and the stomach, and then take the air back in. In through your nose, and then breathe out. And I want you to breathe all the air out, and this time I want you to do a quick breath in, release, pull. Now it's really hard to do a quick breath in through your nose. You all automatically breathe back in through your nose. When I do breathing exercises, I encourage people to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And for optimum health, we should all be nasal breathing, okay? So tonight when you go to bed, if you don't know whether you're a mouth breather or a nose breather, check just as you're going to sleep. Are you breathing in through your nose or not? Honestly, being really conscious of what you do with your breath in everyday life is really important, and it's a really good exercise. And if you know you're a mouth breather, and also check where your tongue is. Just as you're drifting off to sleep, your tongue is clamped onto the floor of your mouth. It's not where it wants to be. You need to allow it to drift up and shape around the hard palate. Because the root of our tongue connects all the way to our feet. Okay? And if you allow your tongue to rest on the hard palate, you can't breathe in through your mouth. So I tried this during COVID. I read about it. It took me 2 weeks. I go to bed at night, put my tongue on the roof of my mouth before I drift off to sleep, and check when I woke up in the morning. And after 2 weeks of doing it every night, the habit has formed, okay? And it's a really good technique to try, okay? When we sing, a lot of the time, there's not time to breathe in through our nose, okay? In between phrases. Although I'm experimenting with that in my own singing now, because when there is time, if you take breath in through the nose, if you've got a few bars off, and you can prepare your breath early by nasal breathing, it really calms your body down. Because breathing in through our nose tells our body that we're safe, okay? It also traps pollen, pollution. It also, as the weather starts to get cold tonight, as you go out through the door, you might breathe in the cold air, attacks the back of the throat and makes you cough, okay? And vice versa, if you're coming out of the cold into the warm. So get into these habits of doing that. Notice when you hold your breath, okay? For me, I've got a sore back at the moment and a dodgy hip. Just putting my shoes on. Put the bed down, put my shoes on now. And I hold my breath. You've got it. And yet the body is not getting the blood oxygen. If you take a breath in, and then breathe out from the action, straight away it's much easier, okay? The body's happy because it's getting the air that it needs, okay? So, enough of my talking, you can see all, okay? Now we're going to put it into action, okay? So we're going to breathe in for 2, out for 4, okay? By practicing breathing exercises, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, when you come to sing, you have to take a shorter breath in through the mouth. Your body will, it helps you not to get breath, okay? You've just got into that rhythm, the body's got used to it, so you can just release and invite the air in, okay? So it trains you to sort of really think about that slow intake of breath. So let's blow all the air out. Some of you all already started. Sit nice and straight on the edge of your chair if you're short like me. feet ground onto the floor, because then you'll feel supported, okay? Even though we're sat down, we're not going to make you stand up. You stand up, so imagine you are stood up and you're really grounded into the floor, so that you're really connected, okay? So we're going to blow all the air out through our mouths. We're going to breathe in for 2, out for 4, 2, 3, 4. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This time purse your lips. Breathe in through the nose, and in through the nose, but focus on your tummy. This time you just breathe in. Just stop a minute. So we're going to do a wide. Okay. Since my work's evolved in lung health to include people recovering from COVID or COVID fatigue, I'm really fascinated by the vagus nerve. So how we can get our body from being anxious all the time, in fight or flight, to rest and digest, okay? Our world is very, very busy, okay? We're being encouraged to just push through all the time. But taking 5 minutes to, I'm going to teach you 2 specific vagal nerve breathing exercises today to get you out of that fight or flight, stress all the time, into rest and digest, okay? And it's a case of training that nerve all the time so that you can move quickly from one to the other, okay? A simple exercise is just doing that. Any of you find yourself subconsciously humming without thinking about it? That's another vagal, that's your body. So if you find yourself humming or whistling, that's your body trying to get you relaxed, okay? Okay, so this time, we're going to breathe in through our nose and out to s. And if you do a nice smiley s, that's also another vagal nerve reset, okay? So let's blow all the air out. We're going to breathe in. Release the belly, breathe in. Then we're going to do shh, breathe in. Release. We're going to cut in front. Breathe in. You should feel it from there. Breathe in. Just stop a minute. It's interesting, as soon as we add sound, suddenly you're all trying to make the effort, okay? Instead of thinking about the function, okay? Instead of releasing here, I'm seeing some of you go, if I do that, I'm just a rush of air, my ears pop, I go a bit dizzy. Actually, believe it or not, there's 3 passages in our nose, okay? And if I tell you to breathe in through your nose now, you'll probably think the shape of your nose. If you think more horizontally as you take the air in, you'll slow the air down, and you'll also cool the air in the throat. Okay, so just try it for me. Blow all the air out, and think really horizontally as you breathe in. Relax in the belly. And then breathe out. Breathe back in the same way, and go. So this does the work down here. So you pull in, and that projects the sound. It's not the effort from here going. That's extraneous effort, okay? Good singing is about being efficient with the breath, okay? We do too much some of the time, too much effort, okay? So it's being efficient. So let's relax the belly, breathe in. And when you think you get to the end of the breath, squeeze a bit harder. Go on, squeeze. And then release the belly to breathe back in. And blow it. just relax. Sorry, I meant just breathe out. Good. So I'm just going to show you another breathing exercise. Some of you, any of you do yoga, you might have seen this, the pranayama breath. So we're going to close our right nostril. For some reason, I still can't find out why yogis do it thumb and third finger. But you can do whatever one you want. The routine is 2 out, 2 back in, swap nostril. But we're going to start halfway through on an in-breath, okay? You'll find one nostril is more blocked than the other. Don't panic. Just slow the breath down and think about that breath in as horizontal as possible, okay? This is a really calming exercise. If anyone gets, as we're going into the colder weather, you start getting mucus in your throat. Some people have a lump in your throat. Don't do that. I'm not going to demonstrate because it makes me go like this. When people clear their throat, it bashes the pores together and eventually bruises them. It's a habit, but it tells the body to send more mucus to the area, so it's counterproductive. So actually, you're making it worse. So you either swallow or you just breathe through it. Okay, and this is a really good exercise by chance. It's a vagus nerve relaxing exercise, but for some of my clients, it's really helped their postnasal drip. Okay, I quite often use it to go to sleep at night. So we're going to start closing one nostril, just to the count of 2 for each one, in and out through the nose. Okay, so let's breathe in. Swap, breathe out. Still using the tummy muscles. Breathe in. Swap, breathe out. As quietly as you can. Breathe in. Swap, breathe out. Breathe back in. Swap, breathe out. Breathe back in. Swap, breathe out. Breathe in through both nostrils. Breathe out. Anybody notice anything? Maybe your ears clear? Any observations?
Dizzy.
Sorry?
Calmer, dizzy.
Do you feel calmer? Do you feel dizzy? Who said they feel dizzy? Just a little bit. You're probably breathing blowing too hard. Have you been calling recently? No? Okay. Just think about slowing the breath down. If you get really dizzy, please stop. Okay, so we're going to swap nostrils this time. We're going to breathe in through the right one first. Breathe back in. Swap, breathe out. Let's try and do it really this time. Breathe back in. Swap, breathe out. 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 Breathe in through both nostrils. Breathe out and relax. It may make some people run. Anybody feel any tingling in their fingers or the toes? No? Good. Yeah? That sometimes means you're getting blood oxygen to the extremities, so you're doing it right. Okay? Take a look at your posture. Who's got their legs crossed? Who's slumped down? A lot of people have slumped down. Posture's so important while we're breathing. Okay? Notice. Just notice what you do. Okay? It's really important as singers that we're constantly aware of our instrument. Try that before you go to sleep at night. If you have trouble sleeping, if you wake up in the middle of the night, try that. Okay? It's a really good exercise to do. Another one is sniffing gently and blowing out. Now I want you to really think about that horizontal breath in. And we're just releasing from here. So belly gets bigger, and then pull it in. Let's try 4. If you fill too much, then slow it down. Or blow more air out. One more. Blow all the air out. Take a deep breath back in. Anybody feel more energized? No? Some of you smiling. You feel sleepy, so that is another calming exercise as well. It is moving you from fight or flight to rest and digest, and I sometimes use that at night as well. But just my age, I haven't had food for a while, but when I did have COVID, I had terrible fatigue afterwards, and there were times that I needed to go and lie down, and times when I couldn't, when I'm in the middle of work. So I find that one, if I do it gently, no one can see me doing it, it just sends the oxygen to my extremities and helps give me some energy. Okay, let's do some singing. Right, sit up nice and straight. We're going to breathe in and we're going to hum. You can either hum with your lips closed, or on an N, or an NG, as in the NG at the end of sing. Say sing. Sing. Think about where your tongue is. And say song. Song. So the tongue's flattened on the song, on the NG of song. Sing, it's up on the top moment. Okay? So we're going to keep that NG. So whatever works for you, closed lips, an N, or an NG. We're going to breathe in. We're going to sing a sound on any note. And we're going to embrace the sound we hear. Okay? So it might be really dissonant, but if we put our mindset onto it, we will make it a lovely sound. Okay? So we're all going to be brave. You pick a note, you decide the note yourself, and then you sing it. And when you need to breathe, you breathe. Okay? But we're going to keep the sound going. And we're just going to think about when we breathe in, we release our bellies. When we're making the sound, we're pulling those coming muscles in. And as you're humming, you'll hear the sound and you'll hear when you lose the support, hopefully. Okay? So if it starts to wobble and feel fragile, just think about using the muscles. Okay? It won't be perfect to start. Let's embrace the imperfections and let's make it right. Okay? Don't be nervous. Take a deep breath in. Blow the air out. This time we're breathing in to hum. When you breathe, you can change the sound individually. So let's make the sound move. You make the choices collectively and individually. it when you stop. Could you hold your breath? Yeah. For those few minutes, your body was used to you taking your breath, getting rid of the breath, and then all of a sudden you just stop and everything tenses. So get into the habit of, as we did in the breathing, you breathe in to breathe out and you breathe back in. So at the end of an activity, I will always say, release and relax. Release means release the belly to invite the air back in. We found nice harmony just by connecting. Did it feel weird at first? Yeah. Did you embrace the weird? And you made decisions about, I don't like that sound, so I'm going to try and alter it. And although we sing together as a group, and we sing in harmony, we all make individual decisions within that collective group to make the sound. Let's try it one more time. And please remember to breathe back in. And just feel people around you. So you did really well. You were obviously used to staggering your breath. But, just listen to each other and decide when you're going to breathe. You might breathe at the same time as the person next to you, but just forgive it, okay? So breathe in. You're all sitting at a nice, comfortable volume and pitch. High voices, try going a bit higher. You fancy it? Let's get a bit quieter. What? It's difficult, isn't it? The humming is really hard, but it tells you whether you're supporting well. Good. If you can bump along, Duncan, this is a breathness breathing song. I will send Susie the link on YouTube. So the words are breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. So we're pretending you're all mixed up. We're tenors and basses. So, basses. So you're going to be, if you can go down the octave, please do. Breathe in, breathe out. And you make a decision if you're going to breathe in the middle or you might try to do the phrase in one breath. Okay? Be mathematical about it. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you use a vocalized consonant, then it's easier to springboard off. Just watch my stomach. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. But you might decide to go breathe in, breathe out. And just get rid of more air, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, breathe out. Just faces. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. So, yeah, lovely sound then. Just bring it down a little bit so that the answers can hear one. So your tune is, when I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Okay? And 1, 2, 3. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe out. Breathe out. Final time. Very good. So sopranos. Do you remember my trick for opening the throat for high notes? Anybody remember? I used to call it the yawn breath. I don't anymore because that encourages you to maybe take too much air in. So if you see your friend across the road, haven't seen for ages, you might go. So it's that. Let's do that together. And it's just lifting the back of the throat. Now, sometimes you have to do that on the breath at the start of the phrase, where the phrase goes up. You've lifted the soft palate already, and then you can just top up and you need to breathe in the middle. So on that one, it's when I breathe in peace. A W is an U and an E. So you've opened the space, you just bring the lips forward. When I breathe in peace with me, and when I breathe in peace. And again. When I breathe out love. Now confidence. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out joy and that's what you can say. When I breathe in, peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. I breathe out, I breathe out. Still working. When I breathe in, I breathe in love. When I breathe out, I breathe in love. Final time. When I breathe in, I breathe in love. When I breathe out, I breathe in love. Now, one other trick I have for keeping the breath spinning. So there's a lot to think about in that. As classical singers, we used to have music. So I'm teaching you words here. It's hard, isn't it? Suddenly you've got to take it on board. I know because I practice these things at home for hours so that I can facilitate them. But when I'm in your position, when I go to CPT, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Okay, so we need to challenge ourselves with that brain because singing's all about that. Another thing is voice percussion. So quickly, I know I've got to finish in a minute. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's click, click, tap, tap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's called Song of 7. So 3 parts, low, middle, high. Let's just split it into 3 groups, okay? So the low part is si la la, oh. Si la la, oh. Si la la, oh. Keep going. Si la la, oh. Si la la, brilliant. It's that version actually. You can get it on YouTube, and during lockdown we came to my breathing group and taught us that, and it's very meditative. Well done. Let's stand up for a minute. Let's do it. I know. Let's get the body going. It's just, we need to cool it down now, haven't we? Yeah. Rub our hands together. Take a deep breath in. Place your hands over your eyes. Breathe. Breathe in. Rub your hands together again. And take your hands. And thank you very much. Thank you. The one fragment I didn't talk about at the beginning, I call it my foundation. Okay? So before you start the song, if you leave your breathing till the last minute, you'll just go. Okay. So when I start a song, I normally count 4, and I have to remind people, don't forget the breathing off, it's too late. And it's that vertical tension. If we breathe in slowly, we feel a horizontal tension, okay? And our body, it's like when you go and fill the car with petrol and it's normal. It's something hurts. And as soon as you properly breathe, I call it my foundation breath, that sets you up for the whole song or movement, okay? So just remember that. Don't breathe too late, because you'll create the wrong tension, and then you're playing catch forward. Good.
Okay, good evening and welcome to Operas. Any more apologies?
Susie, Stephen Robbins, Dan Livesey, Andrew, Stephen Marshall, Eleanor, Shona Rostan.
Now, the minutes of last year's AGM was on the website. So we have to make sure that they're all right from last year. So if we're pleased with them, we can have a proposer and a seconder for last year's AGM minutes. Ably, the usual five, Mrs. Murray.
That's the way it's used.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So the matters. We'll sing it. Keep your eyes. Thank you very much. So, were there any matters arising from the minutes last year? No. Okay. So, moving swiftly on to the treasurer's report. Margaret, Mrs. Hastings, you outline.
You've all got the report, or you should all have read the report. I'm not going to go through the figures boringly. Peter's gone through the figures. And detail from Peter. So I think they're really, you can see that we actually put an awful lot of money through when you think there was 22,915 found way through for road. So it was with all the numbers that went through there, but that was all kept out of the general accounts. Keep it separate so it doesn't count. And really, yeah, we made a deficit. But when you think of what we got, with the staging and with all the music that we added to the library, we won't worry too much about that. So it was. So we did pretty well. I see the details all in there. My big concern, as always, is about the cost of concerts. And I know that people like to have an orchestra, but when we're paying musician unions rates, it costs. So that has to come out of our reserves. And currently, I'm anticipating a loss of around £4,000 on the armed man, because we're going to have a 14-piece orchestra. But there's one way, and our budget only covers 200 tickets being sold, because that's what we sold in November last year. So there's one way to get another 1,500 in, isn't there, folks?
Yes.
You sell another 100 tickets to take it up. That piece, it will have an orchestra, Jean. It's got an orchestra.
That's why it's so expensive. Yay!
So yeah, the more tickets to sell, the more chance we have of using less money in the reserves. So that's all I'm saying. And John's looking at me going, "Is that really our costs?" Yes, these are really the costs. And I'll talk about the 100 Club later on. The other thing that I do like to remind everybody is there people here who are taxpayers who haven't signed a gift aid form. Because if you sign a gift aid form, there's a mathematical calculation that I need to do every year, which is on Susie's costs for the year, the number of members, and work it out what proportion of your fees is teaching time. Kate thankfully let me how to work it out. And so therefore we maybe get 90% of your subscriptions you can claim back, get paid on, if you are taxpayer. So if you're not signed one of these forms before, please see me and get a form and sign it, please, because then I will gladly ask HMRC to give us some more money. And we've got 2,000, something like that, back last year, and it really is worthwhile, and it doesn't cost you anything. We've got £2,304 back from them last year. So that's a nice amount of money. Are there any questions? Because we've got to give you the chance to ask awkward questions. The Peter's not here, so. With a chance to go to just give it easy.
Are the subscriptions staying the same?
Oh yes, the subscriptions are staying the same. We have made enough with the one increase after 6 years or whatever it was that we had increased it. So we are not, I'm not increasing it. But we will need to keep raising funds to get it back to balance. If it's not going to balance, because the cost of the get back. The fees are £150, and the detail of paying the fees is actually, if you will go on to the website, and on the membership page, there's an information which tells you how much the fees are, how you can pay them, and the bank details for those of you that haven't set up bank details. Because that's my other one in the Bank of Scotland is going to start charging in November for all charity accounts. But they will give us 100 transactions a month, which in September and October we might be getting up, but after other months it doesn't. But yes, so we'll get some free. But all checks and all cash will cost us at 90 pence for every £100, and 35 pence for 70 pence for check. Sorry, I get mixed up between the Royal Bank of Scotland and the Bank of Scotland. So yes, that's what we're trying to do. I'm going to, the 100 clubs on the agenda later on.
Can I ask just out of curiosity, is the fence subscription still the same?
It's still £40 and they haven't increased it every year. And people are just, they have it as a standing order.
Yeah, and they just,
And
that's what I
and the
expected
average,
was happening.
we really haven't gotten them any extra in. So we just get to the same all the time. But thanks for asking that question. Oh, John! He's going to come with here's a director question coming.
Have you thought about a budget for advertising? Because doing press releases is fine, but there's no guarantee that the press publish it.
We advertising in the Herald when we did it for C60 at City Halls was £1,000. It's a lot of money. And it is how much the cost of an advert in the local paper, and who gets the local papers now? Let's see who gets the local papers.
Your best would be the community
Yeah.
So and John does the community advertising.
I'm sure they can give you a good deal. Facebook advertising is cheaper, and that's actually where people probably pick up the information.
That's social media is what we try and do. We probably need people that are more experienced in social media than some of us older people who are taking to it very slowly. But yeah, it is.
Any scholars need that should be up there.
Well,
It's not the contract. Those scholars, and we've done nothing this year, but it's written down that they should be posting in all their socials.
So yes, I mean, yes, John. I mean, the other question is, should we put adverts into programs again? Which was an awful lot of work, and sometimes cover the cost of it. and it's, yeah.
I have a question. I was impressed, one of the concerts last year, we had the children's choir. And that ensured fantastic attendance by
340 something?
And I just wondered if there was any merit in thinking about doing that again, because it will have a very good effect on the ticket sales.
We had 324 at that concert. And that's about the capacity of the church,
Yes.
because if you take up and
That's
you
really-
take,
that's really my point.
yeah, so, yes, it always helps if you have children with grannies and grandpas and aunties
Yeah,
and.
you know, it's a serious suggestion that
Uh-huh.
actually you put in a slot for one of the local schools choir or something like that. You know.
It was really nice for us as well, seeing the kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
highlights of the year was seeing them.
And Susie doesn't do it.
Thank you very much. Barbara.
Does it need to be part of the repertoire? And when you're doing the auditory plan, could you not have, a junior, musician that could stand alone? Because if you're doing it as part of a big repertoire, it's a handful of work for violins, and the standard at the last concert was superb.
Yeah.
The Moonrise work are so doing that.
But we would need someone who would like to do that again, even if they were, from the States to do it. I know it's not
Guess why?
But, I'm sure she would like to do it again. Needn't be, as you say, Fiona, it needn't be part of our own repertoire. It could be something standalone, perhaps at a Christmas concert, maybe if we were with Messiah and, they were maybe, they did it first.
But even if it's in a theme, if you've got quite often our concerts have a theme, if there's something that children could do that's linked with the theme.
Something, think about it, absolutely.
Actually, at the end of the AGM in 2017, I actually spoke up about this,
Yes.
about us having a junior choir somewhere that could have been participating part of the auditorium. And I'm sure with all that was on in Glasgow, somebody up there would maybe starting, if you so want that, because the kids have got every other sport in Helensburgh and all our kind of clubs. And here is a musical town. We do not have a children's choir in Helensburgh. I'm not saying the auditorium should do it, but I did bring it to their attention. in 2017.
I think there are now a lot more musical theatre groups,
Yeah.
and I think that's the group that are taking a lot of the youth. And the group, what's the group that's in Singer Station are in Deville and are in the Baxter, and they're now coming to Helensburgh. And they get lots of kids in as well. So it's the genre and the types and things that are there. But, anyway, that might come later. Nice bit, John. That's all we do.
Appointment of examiner.
Robin Ward again. That's all right.
Chairman's report. Stand up. Well, our 62nd season, so it's back to more normal season, no more gallivanting up to the city halls. Full scholarships, once again, we had planned to support scholars last year. All local schools were notified that we'll get one applicant, Taylor. Ben Miller, lovely Ben Miller. He's thoroughly enjoyed his time with us, but has now joined Pierce Den Choir. We wish him well as he starts his studies in the RCS. And if you haven't already seen it, you must check out the interviews that are now linked on our website with Cara, Marianne, and Ben. And they are absolutely delightful. And it was Mel Cadman who carried out those interviews. So thanks again to all involved. And Mel would very much like to do interviews with Susie and Duncan and also have them on the website, so we'll take that forward. I'm going to do this kind of chronologically. Jailstone Gardens, we were invited to say on Sunday the 1st of September last year. It was rather damp, but we did it. And as you know, this year they cancelled on us. This as well. The weather was awful. Now this took me completely by surprise because I'd forgotten all about it. Completely forgotten about it. The come and sing opera choruses, Opera Torio 2. That was the event in September the 14th, and it was postponed from spring 2024, if you remember. I'd forgotten all about it, but it was thoroughly enjoyed by all who attended. Thanks to all the members who provided support with home baking and the teas behind the scenes. Remember, your support is so important when we host these events, and I need you to know now that you're definitely not taken for granted, especially if you're jogging, which is not good. The autumn concert on the 17th of November saw us celebrate the 200th anniversary of Whitman's birth with a performance of his Te Deum. This was combined with a performance of Mozart Requiem, accompanied and ordered by Derek Clark. Isn't it wonderful to have such talent on our doorstep? Our art sale in December 2024 was another successful fundraising event. 23rd of March 2025 saw us perform the concert of Doves, Orion and the Dolphin alongside Orbs and Lorana. And that concert, if you remember, had been planned 5 years before, but was cut off in its prime. Actually, I'm really glad we didn't really know it. Because of COVID. It was a fantastic concert with an added bonus of the fabulous children's choir from Heritage Primary, who sang in more pieces. A huge amount of effort to perfect their part and performed so well with no music. There were lots of proud parents in the audience that evening, and thanks must go to Morag Ridland, who worked with the children to get their concert ready. Thank you, Morag. Variety of Vic, we concluded our season with sang Variety of Vic in Victoria Hall in June, conducted by Duncan Williams, ably accompanied by Stephen Adam on the piano, and the piano's turned on this time. And then on the 13th of June, our final event of the season took us to Ballard to host an American choir from Denver, Colorado, who were touring Scotland and Ireland. Both choirs were warmly welcomed by the team at Lowland Parish Church, and everything was done to perfection. Please send their thanks, Margaret. The organisation of the event is mainly done through our wonderful treasurer, Margaret, who liaised with the tour company to ensure the visiting choir were happy. They seemed to enjoy their stay and the trip around Loch Lomond, despite some of them missing their luggage. The retirement collection was for Robin House, the children's hospice in Ballard, and over £900 was raised. It was well worth it. Our a cappella booklet was born. Thanks to a successful submission for funding from our Guiding Youth, we were able to produce our own booklet for events such as the Ballad concert and future singers at Jailstone and the like. When we don't have the luxury of a piano or a keyboard, they were also put to good use in Verona in July this year at the International Choral Festival. New staging. We have now been able to experience the new staging, which has made quicker and lighter installation. Please consider lending a hand with assembly and disassembly at the next concert. Many hands do make light work of this new lighter weight staging. Thanks again to Andrew Stevenson for handling all the logistics involved, and to Ken Lockhart for organising the stage crew. Retirements and long service. Joy and Brian Temple have been our librarians for over 25 years. Mind-boggling, really. When they announced that they wanted to retire, our first thought was, oh my God, what are we going to do? However, I need and worried as we had secured the services of Alison Bean and Margaret Cairns to continue the role. The handover was made very easy by the way everything had been catalogued and stored by Brian and Joy. So thank you, thank you very much for that. But we couldn't let Joy and Brian leave the role without making their wonderful efforts, or acknowledging their wonderful efforts in some way. So we had a tea and cake and a presentation with an engaged cake and flowers. It's the least we could do to mark the fantastic support they've shown for the choir. So another wee round of applause. Like Ian and Mary Duncan. Mary retired from the choir some time ago, but Ian had stayed until this season. For those of you who don't know, both Ian and Mary are very talented artists, and for many years we've created paintings for sale at coffee mornings to raise funds, and Ian has provided the artwork for a great many of our concerts. We were so glad they joined us so that we could show our appreciation for the support of the choir for so many years, and they were also presented with a quick and flowers. Earlier in the year, we also acknowledged the long service of Soprano Jean Butler. Where are you, Jean? You're over there. With a presentation of quick and a beautiful orchid, 60 years of the choir. We're on a 2025. Although I should technically be talking about this trip the next AGM, I think John, Anthony and Mary will be bringing up some follow-on subjects later on in the agenda, so I won't say any more than that, but we're in anticipation. Succession planning. Talking about long service got me thinking. I felt this role for several years, 13. And while I have agreed to another term, I wondered if there might be a case for maybe a vice chairman role, someone who would take over when the time came. Any thoughts? Subscriptions, these will remain at £150 per annum. However, we will have to look closely at our fundraising efforts as the cost of putting on concerts is never going to be down. Just one. Membership and attendance. I'm getting rather worried about our attendance at rehearsals. While joining online is available, it is never a substitute for being here in person, and we owe it to our choir colleagues to ensure we attend regularly, illness notwithstanding. There's more about that. Looking ahead, to honour the 80th anniversary of the ending of World War II, we intend to perform, as you know, Carl Jenkins' The Armed Man on Sunday the 23rd of November. This will be a standalone piece, as I think we have to make it as impactful as possible. And hopefully we'll have a slideshow that goes with it, very much like if you go to the YouTube video on the website with the background of the soldiers and everything. It's going to be very, very good. I certainly think Kenny Lockhart deserves a thanks for sourcing the teach tracks and maintaining our website so diligently. He's the man who needed any technical queries. I know you will join me in thanking our committee who worked so tirelessly on your behalf. Our section stewards, Peter Stephen, Maureen Purdy, Andrew Stevenson, Sarah Drummond, our treasurer, Margaret Hastings, and our secretary, Vivian Murray. These wonderful people continue to work tirelessly on our behalf for the good of the choir and its continued success. So thank you sincerely all. Thank you to our MD Susie and our fantastic accompanist Duncan. I must also mention our dear friend Stephen Adam, who lends his expertise whenever required. And as I said before, how lucky are we to have such talent on our doorstep. In conclusion, I kindly ask that we continue to offer assistance and support whenever possible as we progress through this season. Thank you all. Susie has a very bad laryngitis, and there might be some duplication. Sorry I can't be with you in person tonight. I hope you enjoyed your short session with Rachel on breathing and posture, two recurring issues in the choir which I would particularly like to address this term. More on that later. A year ago, we embarked on a programme of Bruckner and Mozart. We chose Bruckner's Te Deum not only because it's a wonderful piece, but it was Bruckner's 200th anniversary. He was born on the 4th of September 1824. Mozart's Requiem was considered a good companion piece. Most of the choir already knew it and enjoyed singing it, and along with the Bruckner, new to the choir, both pieces could be accompanied most brilliantly by Derek Clark on the parish church organ. We had 4 lovely soloists from the Scottish Opera Chorus, Monica Toll, Sarah Shorter, David Walsh, and Tim Edmondson. It was a very successful concert and well received. It was also nice for me to hear the church organ in performance for the first time. In March, we finally performed Carmina Burana and Arrival Dolphin, and I have to confess this might be one of my favourite oratorio concerts so far. This was the programme we were due to perform in March 2020, but it was cancelled with only a few days' notice due to the COVID pandemic. Carmina Burana is an iconic choral masterpiece. However, only a couple of movements are actually well known. It is a tricky learn with combinations of Latin and German, very fast text, and curious harmonics to learn. Some particularly exposing passages for certain voice sections too. Our soloists were excellent. Anna Marian sang soprano solos with sublime beauty. She had only previously bumped the choir for C Symphony and a Christmas concert. We welcomed back David Walsh, who had performed Bruckner and Mozart with us in December. What an incredibly difficult solo the tenor has, and he delivered it brilliantly. Finally, in the Carmina Burana, we had Paul Grant baritone, a wonderful young Scottish singer who trained at La Scala and recently performed Figaro for the Barber of Seville. We are so lucky to have these talented singers on our doorstep. If we thought Carmina was a difficult learn, then Orion the Dolphin was even harder, and thankfully there was a small collective memory of person What a piece. Firstly, huge thanks to Mona Ridley for preparing the show so brilliantly and volunteering her time to go into Heritage Crown each week. They were absolutely fantastic, and it was so heartwarming to see how much they enjoyed being part of our concert. RCS graduate Victoria Witzner was a brilliant Orion. She had actually written to me asking if she could be our soloist, having previously performed the piece with Katie Cooper at Glasgow University. She loves the piece so much and was so excited she might be able to perform it again that she flew over from Lithuania, especially for our concert. As in 2020, we decided to present this programme in the 2-piano and percussion arrangement because Jonathan Duff had cleverly composed Orion the Dolphin to complement this arrangement. On the night of the concert, unfortunately, Duncan was poorly, so we welcomed Derek back, who performed the piano part with Stephen Adam. We had a further 5 percussionists to take on the huge logistics of playing 22 instruments between them and transporting and setting them up. They were a fantastic team. Suffice to say, the capacity audience went wild, and it was worth the 5-year wait. I can't wait to do that programme again. The season continued in the knowledge that a smaller group were to represent the oratorio choir in the Verona Choral Festival in July. So fortunately, an opportunity had arisen through my receiving an email to join forces with a touring choir from Denver, Colorado. This presented the perfect opportunity to work on our a cappella singing and devise a programme that we could use in other, perhaps less conventional concerts, such as Variety Vic and Jamestown Gardens, which was sadly cancelled a couple of weeks ago. The appropriate venue would be Lowman Parish Church in Val, another 2020 oratorio casualty, as we were due to perform a concert there in May 2020 and haven't had the chance to revisit. Margaret did wonders, making all the arrangements. There was a superb spread for both choirs and their guests, and a young piper to start off the concert. She was excellent. The auditorium performed really well, and it was interesting to listen to the American choir singing and share stories with them afterwards. They had suffered some misfortunes, lost luggage and missing tenors, yet the conductor had to direct from the ensemble while also supplying tenor lines. It was a great experience with the auditorium, different music, different venue, the audience, and a good dress rehearsal from the Verona group, as well as getting singers not coming to Verona a flavour of the kind of things they would be missing. Sharing concerts with other choirs and singing a cappella. All in all, it was a very positive experience, creating and raising £930 per chance. I nearly fainted, if you remember that contest. Anyway,
Just took off.
Saturday. A few weeks later, and we completed our 24-25 season in Italy at the festival, the Festivale Nazionale di Verona, that estate. 4 concerts in 4 days with visits to local sites in between. We swam in Lake Garda, or she did. Visited local towns and wineries. Shared music making with choirs from Poland and France. You'll recall I brought Kate and the book and things that we sent us. Peter Stephen has brilliantly documented each day on Facebook with photos and videos. We will endeavour to turn these into an email or put on our website for those without Facebook so you can see. It's really a wonderful account. I'm delighted to say that we will return to Sardinia Festival in 2027. And if you haven't joined in yet, do consider it. It's a wonderful way to improve your singing, learn your repertoire, and enjoy the beautiful sights of Sardinia. The cost is very competitive for what you get, as the price includes all travel, board, meals, drinks, all good. Next, I'd like to draw your attention to the rehearsal etiquette. You will all have received a copy of this when you joined the choir. If you haven't, please let your stewards know. If you'd like one, I've got one here for you, but it is on the website. Okay? So, couple of bullet points. First of all, we must start promptly at 7:45, otherwise we diminish our short window in which to warm up. Warm-ups are crucial in order to physically prepare your voice and body for the rehearsal, the time spent together preparing our next concert. It's important your body is ready, relaxed, and has the best chance of learning new music or consolidating what you have already learned. We do not want your voice to become damaged, and this can happen if you do not properly support your body while singing. Posture and breathing has a huge bearing on intonation and overall vocal health. It is to be considered as important as learning the notes and rhythms. Please think about what you have learned with Rachel tonight and try to implement it in your singing going forward. If there's anything from tonight that didn't make sense or you'd like to be expanded on, please ask me. No. Some members will need to do a little work at home if they learn at a different rate, or have missed a rehearsal, or have found something difficult, whether intellectually or vocally. It is not compulsory to work on choir music at home, but it may help you get more out of rehearsals and therefore enjoy your time at choir more. If you're going to be absent, please let your steward know, and in turn, they will let me know. If you're absent for more than 3 rehearsals in a row without prior explanation, then that warrants a chat with me and potential removal from the concert. It is imperative that all members commit to attending all rehearsals, preferably in person, and online only if completely unavoidable. By not showing up to rehearsal, you are letting your colleagues down, as it affects the overall sound and collective energy. People notice who don't attend regularly. Early rehearsals are just as important as rehearsals in the run-up to a performance. Please talk to me or email me if you have issues with coming to some of the rehearsals so we can work out a plan. I am quite amenable. I'm really looking forward to the Man Reh. It will be a short concert without an interval, probably a good thing when it is dark and cold outside, and will be accompanied by orchestra. I'll be asking if anyone wants to volunteer for one of the short solos in the next few weeks, so have a think. And finally, none of this would be remotely possible without an incredible committee. Please join me in thanking them for their most important work, Kenny for all his work on the website and facilitating online rehearsals, Margaret and Alison, our new librarians, for doing a brilliant job, John Beveridge for excellent PR coverage, and all our stewards, Sarah, Molly, Andrew and Peter, whose knowledge of the choir and other things goes far beyond his duties as a day steward to the island. Vivian for keeping the excellent minutes and meeting and juggling all the room bookings. Margaret for doing so much, notice the accounts and paying people the time. And also for accepting work as a program and travel agent and working on daily and funding applications. For Alicia for reading the report. I'm making it tears. There's nothing on the sale which I am a huge thank you also to Duncan for his wonderful training and Jackie for me with such humour. What a wonderful community we have, and I look forward to our help with SOL. Election of office bearers. There are 2 office bearers who are up for consideration again. That's that of chairman and tenor steward. And both myself and Andrew have agreed to run for another 3 terms. We have, we all agreed to that? Sure. So I'll need a proposal and a second for the, yeah, let's go So for the, a proposal for the tenor steward, Andrew, and a proposal for me. And a second. A lot of hands are up there. Right. Thank you very much. So, we now come to AOCD.
The 100 Club, I mentioned it earlier, and it was brought to attention that maybe new members didn't know what the 100 Club was about. And so there's this yellow leaflet, right, that tells people what it's about. But basically, the issue that I needed to bring was that if we don't get 46 numbers, and we're currently at 42, so we need people to take at least another 4 numbers, then we actually don't have enough rough money to run it at twice, 2 numbers a month. And so if we don't get 46, we will have to drop it down to only 1 number a month, 1 prize per month. So we're on the lookout for another 4 numbers. Okay, but the leaflets are here for people that want to find out more about it. The cost is £24 for the year, which many people can add in onto their fees, which is great. And some people have 2 numbers, and somebody has 3 numbers. And that person with the 3 numbers actually gets some money back in prizes. So the odds are better the more numbers you have. So there's another marketing point. So that the official start next week will be the final draw for 24-25. And then 1st of October starts the new draw for the following year. So there are some leaflets here if people that don't know about it want to know, and I think I've posted the website that I know.
And now, can I just ask, when do you want all the money in?
Well, anytime, so many people have paid it already. Yeah, as of now that we're past the AGM, there will be invoices going out to those people who haven't paid. If you don't get an invoice, you paid. If you get an invoice, you haven't paid. And I want money, please.
Do you want the fees and the 100 club paid separate?
No,
No, just altogether.
actually, I can quote the 150, 174, 198, 176, and 202 is, I know what these sums mean, right?
And if you're hiding the score,
That's
or
what I
you could put that into.
waiting that to come around.
You can do that as well. We're not worried about having lots of cash, are we? We're just, that's what it is. Right, and it's on the website.
And I'm conscious of the time, but the last thing on the agenda is the Hillsborough Choral Festival.
Yes, thanks for me down there.
Yes.
Let's come forward.
Yes.
I think we're not. Basically, the long and short of it is that we thought Verona Festival was a really good opportunity. For those who don't know, I was in the choir when I was a total wee boy, probably from about, I would say 12 until about, like that. It was a while. Went away, left town, came back. And the really awkward moment was that moment where I was going, there's people that I've sung with for about 10 years, and I finally got to know their names at the Verona Festival. Because we've sung together for so long, but we don't actually necessarily get the chance to socialise and get to know each other as well as otherwise we might like to. We then, and you looks like other men, but a couple of lots of wine, had the great idea of this has been really fun. Wouldn't it be great? Because all the people we were speaking to were like, oh, we love Scotland, it's so great. It's like, great, why didn't you come over? We haven't, we'd love to. And we thought, why not try and replicate the festival that they do over in Italy back home? Now,
Where do you get sunshine?
What we were thinking was, it seems that a lot of people seem to, when we mention it, feel like that's a good idea. It's just looking to see if anyone else wants to get on board and maybe try and make it a thing. In Italy, they very much try and run it, or they do run it, for profit, purely off of the fees that they charge people. We'd be looking at silly movies, trying to see if there's some grant money somewhere. We're looking at people who know about fundraise to see if we can maybe find out something going. It's very much just a case of seeing who would be interested to either lend a hand or go, hey, I'm going to do the next one instead. I can help and see if we can get it off the ground. And ideally, and I haven't necessarily mentioned this to you guys, they do it for profit. If we can do it for raising the choir funds, well, hey, fantastic. But also it's that way of, for those who can't necessarily go abroad, let's bring the festival here so we can all take part. And that's pretty much my pitch. I know more stuff people want, but basically the idea would be probably 3 or 4 days in various places, go somewhere, have a look, see something nice, show them touristy stuff, then do a concert in that local area with a local choir from there, so that we then get to build better relationships with other choirs.
And remember, the visiting choir will pay their accommodation, they will pay their food, their drink, their transport, and that's what we do when we go. So although they've obviously added on a bit to make money, we still have, they will cover their own costs. So we go out of pocket, so we have to do all the organisation.
So I think just wondering if anybody else was sort of enthusiastic about it, and even if you don't necessarily have skills, but a bit of enthusiasm, which is me. Maybe we should, I don't know, arrange to meet up before or after a choir, and work it out, and invite anybody who wants to, just be part of the chat.
What about the next Tuesday tea time? Anyone who's interested in joining the subgroup?
And the only other deadline I was aware of is there is a deadline for this particular fundraiser. There's a deadline for this particular.
But there'll be lots of fundraisers.
Yeah, and it might not be quite,
That was a very generous lot of funding that gave you.
That's very fun if we get it. And there's a whole load that I looked into. So we've got many options.
Can I just ask, do they have to find their own accommodation as a group?
Now, that's one of the things. So either, once again, it's something that we can discuss. The way that I think that we do over in Verona, which ideally is the way I probably prefer to do it, sort of go roughly how many members they want, We then approach them and we go, what deal could you give if we were to ask for the amount of rooms? And maybe even just push out the hotel, because frankly, that's what they were doing. And if we can do that, it supports local business idea. If we can keep it local, maybe get a slightly better rate, but ultimately they pay for it, we don't.
There's a whole lot of things to discuss. Is there a willingness to participate in?
It would add to the whole sort of community, it would expand.
And the one thing as well, I was a little bit cheeky, and by chance, the guy who organised it and runs it was quite close to being in a church. So I just sort of was going, hey, I kind of want to do something similar. Can I get your details and get in touch? So if we have any logistical things where we go, oh, I don't know what we're doing, they offer to help, including promoting it.
And they're flying over in London.
Yeah, they are.
And granted, we would not be guaranteed whether we have we have Scotland, you know,
I hope and everybody guarantee, with the guarantee weather, sometimes it's quite a bit too hot.
So, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Which way round here is the chairs here? Do you have a sign facing in or out? Out.
with the